How do you feel about the horrible nature of your death? What do you think about death? Do you feel that the day will come you have to die and give up all the possessions you have accumulated while you are alive and all those you love? Or did you hear about it? Yes, of course. I wanted to talk a little bit about the death that we all inevitably face in my video today. Like or not, we have to face death. So I thought it would be good to talk. Let me consider that I have discovered, as well as how scholars, religious leaders, and theologians have come to understand death. Even if we do not understand how death feels to us, you have all seen and heard that death is very painful and you and I are afraid of death. I suggest you find out about the death we all face. Try to understand death as deeply as you can understand it. Really, as we know it, what is death? In a short saying, what is the meaning of death is? Death is the last place or moment of our life, or the end point of our lives, or the last breath of our lives. Death is the paralysis of all the organs of our body. Then after death, the body will be like a trunk without any feeling. This is how we learn about the death of another person while we are alive. We cannot understand what it is like to be alive after death by seeing others' death. So, here we are fearing that our body will become inactive or that we will not be able to breathe. We will have to experience a lot of pain of death that we have never experienced before. That is why you do not like to face your death, even myself. So, that is why death is so dangerous for everyone. This is the physical pain we feel about the death. So, what about our emotional pains? How do we feel about our loved ones or the close relationships in our lives? All the feelings we have, that is, the people we love, we have to get away from the friends we have. We don't know where we will go, but we will have to go with our death. We will have to give up all the wealth we have accumulated over a lifetime, including our vehicles, money, property, or what we have stored. This is the level at which we as ordinary human beings can understand about death. I think we all need to know a little bit about our death. At least you have to know what I have described in the above details. We must not live like we will never die. We must live knowing that we will have to die someday. So it is important that we learn more about death. Now we know that none of us can escape death. We need to understand that no matter what anyone says, no matter what religion, no matter what philosopher says, there is no escape from our death. Now we come to the part where we talk about the most interesting point in our life. If we only knew now that we would all die, then what happened to us after death? This is something we should try to understand. If we know exactly where we are going after death, we can be happy. But we cannot say where we are going. Who knows where we will go? I will give a little hint about this to know where to go after death and in what form to be born again. Before that, you need to have faith in yourself that there is a rebirth after death. If you have not yet stopped the life cycle of being born and dying, who does not have a rebirth is another matter that I will not go into detail about right now. So, if you have not yet stopped the birth cycle to die, you will have a rebirth after death. If so, to get to know what your next birth is or where you will be born, understand this point well and find out for yourself how it fits into your life. Of course, only you can know for sure what your inner thoughts are about, what your life is like and what kind of feelings you have. Do you accept that even though you behave in one way from your body, your mind behaves in another way? To explain this, sometimes you may have to work on something, but your mind does not want to do it, but you have to do it for whatever reasons your boss or parents do. At that time, you behave like two persons. Do you understand what I said? That you behave like two persons behave. Why I said that your body will behave in some way, your mind will react in another way. So two persons mean your body acts as one person and your mind acts as another person. That is why I said you behave like two persons. To illustrate furthermore, you may have heard some say that he works like a dog, or born like a man and working like a dog. When he goes to eat, he eats like a beast eats. When he gets angry, he chases after him like a snake. You may have heard the saying, do not act like a donkey, because he works like a donkey, he thinks like a donkey. You have heard so many talks like that. All of these means act like an animal, a ghost or another born again being, even if born human. You have heard that your mind is the root of everything. Our way of thinking is very much like behaving as a human being, as a beast, as a greedy person, as a god. Then our next life pattern is mostly rebirth, what we are mostly thinking pattern. Most probably the birth is also the same. If I repeat it, our way of thinking is very much like behaving as a human being, as a beast, as a greedy person, as a god. then our next life pattern is mostly rebirth. What we are mostly thinking pattern. Most probably the birth is also the same. What patterns of you are thinking most? The same way your next reincarnation will happen. Do you understand what I explained? If your thinking pattern is like a beast dog, your next birth will mostly be reborn as a dog. Also, if your thinking pattern is similar to that of a greedy person, then your next life will most likely be reborn as a ghost. As the same, if your thinking pattern is like a human, your next birth will also mostly be reborn as a human again. Also, if your thinking pattern is similar to that of a god, then your next life will most likely be reborn as a god. So, if you want to be reborn as a human or a god, you have to try to live a human thinking pattern or a god thinking pattern. If so, you need to change the way you think. Your way of thinking is to do only what you do with your mind, words, and actions so that you and others can benefit. If I repeat it again, you need to change your way of thinking in order to benefit yourself and others with your mind, words, and actions. Then only your next rebirth will most probably be reborn as a human birth or a god birth. Before you change your way of thinking, first you need to understand what kind of thinking pattern you currently have in your life. Then once you understand your thinking pattern, gradually change it into a better thought of pattern. I know it is a little hard to understand the things I pointed out about death and rebirth. Also, understand the way you think and control your mind, words, and actions so that it benefits you and others. So, if you do not know much about death or have not yet found out about it, I invite you to find out more about death. Knowing about death is good for all of us, not bad. So find out more about death and birth. Find out more about rebirth of death. Find out how the last death without rebirth takes place. Understand it. Follow the process by which it can be obtained and move towards immortal death, which is not reborn. That is the end of the cycle of birth and death. It is nirvana. So in today's video, I pointed out some of the things you need to know about death and rebirth in your life. Although these points are a few, I think all points are very valuable to your life. If you have a problem with the points I have pointed out or need further clarification, write all those in a comment below. And also write your valuable ideas, suggestions below. If the video is good, then like it. Share this video for others to see. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell button and select all to enable the notification. I wish you and bless you to soon understand the way to stop the cycle of birth and death. Thank you and have a great life.